All right, next up we got Liolek. I think that's how you say the name. Bob, post in the critiques channel. It should be okay. We'll see if I can get to it. Okay, so I'm not sure what the mail.ru / my.com is. Maybe you type that and then at mail.ru or name and then at my.com. I'm not sure. All right, so if we look at the summary hard surface, environment hard surface, resume, there's a PDF. Okay, nice. Got a little bit of experience. Workplaces? What do you mean? Oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think that is workplace. No, you're correct, Axel. That rings a bell now too. I remember him saying that. So, yeah, it doesn't look like a work location name, right? Anyways, my apologies. Environment portfolio. Let's drop in here. Oh man, some cool style stuff. Oh, recently did the challenge as well. So this turned out really nice. Oh, thanks, Curious. I forgot to link it out again. Yeah, this turned out dope. Back there, it gets a little. Oh, that's it. A little simplified, but I guess that's not really close to the final image. There's like a puddle ripple thing going on there that's really intense. The chromatic aberrations making my eyes feel funny around this concrete here too, this road surface. Man, there's some nice elements in here, like this stuff here. That's like that rubber filling they use on cracks. The darkness value of this, the value in general of this albedo is really dark. So it's kind of like separating itself. What do without Curious? Oh, this is cool. Some breakdown stuff. Yeah, so in general, this stuff all looks... I mean, this is all pretty solid. I really like the vehicles. Like, they turned out really nice. What's going on here? Oh, man. I love these. Man, really captured that beam being really confusing. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be holding this up, but it's actually on the other side of the sidewalk. It's so strange to me. So the road looks pretty good. Oh man, that's cool. Oh man, there's a video too. I'm gonna mute it, I'm sorry. That's awesome. It's a bit, this shot doesn't hold very long. It starts to fade to dark too quickly. Blade Runner-esque indeed. Oh, nice addition to the cup here. Seeking human kindness in the form of changing a cup. So kind of the little pet peeves that I have when I see videos like this are the how you have a shot like this is really strong at the beginning, like how you do the reveal, right? And then it's moving at this even rate, and then it stops, fades too quickly, and then fades in, and then moves. The fading in, there's a cup right here, Tobias. When it fades in, the camera's not moving, and then after the fade in stops, then the camera moves. Think about the composition as far as like pacing of shots. It helps immensely if your first shot is a reveal. It can be moving or it doesn't have to be moving, but if it starts moving, every other shot should move at the same rate, fading in and or out. And then it would, so let's say it's panning this way, and then next shot it's panning this way, the next shot it's panning this way, the next one this way. The last shot can stop, and then it needs to hold it for just slightly longer than you think it should, and then it fades to black. That alone does wonders for like what you're trying to display. Like, it feels so much more smooth. It doesn't feel like you're jumping from shot to shot. It feels like you're experiencing shots, if that makes sense. Dude, this one right here is my favorite, and I think it's just because it captures that kind of glow, bloom. There's like the crazy lens flare stuff going on. Feels good, man. Feels good. In general, I would say this is a pretty successful piece. There's this building. Hang on, let me get to the. I think the best thing about these are the cars. You've like nailed those. This building here feels really flat, and I'm not sure. I think pushing the windows in and maybe taking these, like if you took this whole chunk here and brought it in a little bit, and then took those windows and brought those in even further, then you just start to get that. Just start to get a more dynamic depth and stuff. Yeah, you're talking about these lens flares. Here. These ones. Yeah, I don't think Unreal supports those, and those are probably added in post, but there's even like the really fat lens flare here with the Pharmacon. Like, it's just really wide. Yeah, assuming it's UE4, the UE4 doesn't support these. And those are, judging by the uniqueness and the locations of where the bloom is occurring, a lot of this is probably post, especially here. But that, dude, I gotta be honest, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay to do posts like that. It's like compositing, right? As long as it doesn't completely take over your scene and like, you're just doing a bunch of trickery. Like, all this stuff, you can buy those in the store? Really? The lens flares? Interesting. I'm confused by your Jesus Christ part of your comment. So lens flares that are with planes and opacity, that's pretty normal. Unless you're trying to get true lens flares, like what you saw in Overwatch is a real approach that a lot of the industry uses. So let's move on to some of this other stuff. This is really cool. There's some textile density issues with the floor versus here, and then like thematically or theme style wise, these two clash quite a bit. And this one has a weird like color to it. This color and this color, like, they actually feel like the problem we used to have before PBR, which is essentially you have two different lighting environments in the albedo. So either make this warmer or this cooler, or gray, more gray. Love the woodwork on The building. This is cool too, the chipping. Very nice. We have no time. Hurry. No time, guys. Oh, these are cool. These barrels are awesome. Dude, that top really tapers in. It looks stylized. Anyways, I would say this looks pretty successful. The wood planks they're not separating from each other enough. I feel like the albedo is just too bright, probably. Also, the albedo of the white paint is probably too white as well. Let me check here. I heard that. What is that? G Wilo 86. Thanks for the follow. Probably said that wrong, but thank you. I got two sounds. What's going on? What is happening? Why can't I paste? There we go. So in the shadow I can see the albedo isn't too bright, but the wood, that's like screaming too bright to me. Yeah, it probably could just go down maybe to somewhere around here. Radium, what's going on? Sumi, how you doing? And then the white, I think, is just blowing out a lot. There's some grimy stuff up here that actually looks like burn marks. I think those are supposed to be shadows. I could be wrong. You know, I would look at how dark your grime is and then how bright your brightest albedos get. This is super cool. Oh man, this is, yeah, this is. Oh yeah, look at doing separating pieces. Oh, that's so sick. Yeah, okay, this, hang on, I gotta link this in chat. There you go. That's a really cool technique to chop up the pieces. Man, the style of this is just sick. That's super cool. This is, let me look at the other, I think this is actually probably your strongest piece. It's between these two. Like, these two are really strong. Man, you have a lot of stuff in here. This is cool. The edge highlighting on the bridge is a little strong on the stone, like this stuff here. The grain in the wood is a little intense as well, but in general it looks cool. I think you tone down that grain value so it's not so dark, and then widen the highlight here, and maybe lower the opacity on it by like I don't know, 10%. You'd probably be in a pretty good spot overall. It's just really contrasty. Man, this looks cool. Oh, interesting. I'm like, what's going on there? This one's cool too. Oh man, it looks really good with the without the color. Oh, it's cool. That style. Yeah, so the thing with this, so you got all that stuff, and then you've got some. Oh, this one's cool. So there's that's awesome. There's no doubt that you've got taste skills, like your modeling, your understanding of modeling, your understanding of ZBrush. Nice, you got little weld lines in there too. Your understanding of, like, probably the weaker stuff is your hand painted textures, but it looks like in some situations it's really strong as well. Like the highlights here look pretty good. Yeah, all this stuff looks pretty cool. I'd say work on your albedo for painted textures. More subtleties and like gradients and stuff like that will go a long way. Now, where things are getting a little confusing is I'm seeing a combination of stylized and realistic looking stuff. This weapon's sick. I mean, I like the fact that I can see that you can do stylized stuff and then also you can do more realistic work. And I really like your high poly renders. But it confuses me. Like, I don't know if you want to be a weapons artist or a props artist or an environment artist or a vehicle artist. And then I also don't know if you want to be stylized or if you want to be realistic. The clearer you can make that, the better it's going to be for your employment, like your future employment. It's much easier to place someone that you're confident wants to do what they're displaying. Like, I actually don't know what you want to do. I can tell that you're skilled. I can tell that your hand-painted textures are the weaker of your stuff. But some things, like this, come off really strong. Yeah, you just get confused. It's easy to, if I see this and I'm hiring for someone to do realistic stuff, I can see that you can do this, and I can see that you can do this tank. That's cool. But you put it next to someone who's just doing realistic stuff, and they will beat you unless your, like, few things you're doing are just super superior in quality. But you can guarantee if you do get an interview, every studio is going to ask you why it's so diverse. Yeah, the other thing is not showing wireframe. I mean, I think this scene shows enough wireframe. Like, you see it there. You can see it here. It's still quite high, especially in here. So I'm not seeing real-time stuff as much as we could be seeing. Like this one, I can tell can be real-time. This one's V-Ray rendered. So yeah, I mean, maybe your focus isn't even in video games. That's another thing. It's like, but then I see this and I'm like, oh, okay, well, he wants to make video game art. I want to see the wire. There we go. So the density on these little guys down here is probably a little high. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, this looks pretty cool. It's a little on the bright side for the environment. But these guys, like, these don't need to be as high poly as you've made them. What? Dude, this music. Hang on here. I'm like, why am I not seeing the wireframe? Oh, that's weird. Anyways, there's the wireframe. So these are super high poly. Those don't need to be... This could probably be half. Especially at the tips. Like, they get really dense. This is more in line with what I'm expecting, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, you're skilled. You know what you're doing. I would want to, if I was trying to hire you for AAA, I'd want to know what your interests are, because right now it's kind of all over the place, and I'd want to know that I could confidently give you an asset and you could make it in game, like real time, and like produce content for production. And right now I'm seeing a lot of V-Ray renders and post rendering. I don't know what this is in though. Unreal. There we go. All right, cool. This is good. This is the best thing in your portfolio then, just because of like... it did say Unreal in the video. Thanks, 4D. It did. This is the strongest one just because it's showing the full like span of like... that's why it's so important to show work in progress. Because you can see it from the very beginning and how it turns into what it is. The vehicles are super cool as well. Anywho. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. I don't think you're ready just because I don't know what to do with you. I think that's the only thing. Like, I want to know what you want. Where do you want to work? It looks like maybe Blizzard, but then I would love to see some stylized environments from you. This is cool. My favorite thing in here. Anywho, hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to switch over. We're going to look at Discord critiques. I will be right back. I'm going to get some water, actually.